Hello again, it's Kristen with ministrytochildren.com. In today's gospel lesson, Jesus addresses some questions about things that are coming up or about the end times. And this may or may not be something that children are very familiar with. Maybe they've heard a lot about it, maybe they haven't as much, but all kids have issues where they might worry about things or wonder what's coming up. So this lesson aims to address those questions in sort of an appropriate way for kids, that we can say, hey, we know that the future is kind of unpredictable, but we do know that God is with us. That's the main message that we're getting across. So here's one possible way you could portray that message. Hi guys, how are you today? Have you ever made a prediction? Do you know what a prediction is? It's kind of like a guess of what's going to happen. Now, sometimes predictions are made with education, with something behind it, and sometimes people are just trying to figure things out. So, like, if I toss my cat on the floor, I can predict that she's probably going to land on her feet, because that's usually what she does. Cats are just like that. It's pretty neat, actually. You can throw them, they can jump, they almost always will land on their feet. There's a lot of biology behind that. But yes, cat landed on feet. Easy to predict. Or how about this? If I knock this over, if I like flip it or tap it, what's going to happen? Gonna fall over. Yeah, it's probably gonna fall over. So that was easy to predict too. But some things are harder to guess at. So like if I take this coin, this is a quarter, and if I toss it and catch it and then put it down, do you think it's going to land on the head side? That means the side with the president. Or is it going to land on the tail side? This we don't necessarily know as easily, but we have a 50-50 chance. It may land on the heads, it may land on the tails. Let's find out. Or I might drop it and we can still find out. So that landed on the head side, but it could just as easily have landed on the tail side. It's kind of just a random action that it may or may not happen. Well, some things are even harder to guess at. So like, how about if I asked you what was in this bag? Do you know what's in this bag? You really don't. I mean, you could shake it, you could feel it, you could guess it, but you really don't know what's in this bag. Okay, well, happens to be a book. Now, if I open this book, let's say this book has 163 pages. So if I open this book to a random page, what page do you think it is? What page did I just flip it open to? This is even more tricky because you have a 1 in 163 chance of getting it right. It just so happens it was page 120, by the way, if you were wondering. So there are some things that we can guess or predict. There are some things that we don't know about as much. It's kind of just up in the air. Now, people have been wondering about the future and wondering about things that are going to happen for all of history, really. Ever since we got on Earth, we wondered what's coming next, what's going to happen. And people nowadays often make predictions, sometimes ones that they base on science and facts, like predicting the weather, sometimes ones that they really don't know a lot about, but they still make predictions. Like people say the world is going to end at a certain given date. Well, they might not really know. In fact, we know they don't know, but they still make those guesses and those predictions. And you know, even in Jesus' time, people were saying those kinds of things. People were saying the world is going to end, this is going to happen, this big event's going to come. And in the Bible, Jesus talks multiple times, many times, about how we don't know when the end is going to be. There's a lot of things that we don't necessarily know in life, in fact. And Jesus said, a lot of stuff is going to happen before the end of the world gets here. And we don't know. People are going to come up and say, oh, this is happening, this is happening. But really, we don't know what's coming in the end. And Jesus said hard stuff's going to happen first, but we still don't know when it's going to end. However, there's a special promise that goes with this. So people in Jesus' time were asking him lots and lots of questions, and they wanted to know what was coming. And they wanted to know when the end was coming. And Jesus would tell them, only God knows when the end is going to be and exactly what's going to happen and exactly what it's going to look like. But Jesus did promise a few things. He said, hard times will probably come. Yes, that's just a part of life. We know that it's going to be hard. But he also said that he would be with us. So Jesus promised that even though hard things would happen, and even though we don't know all of the future, we do know that God is with us and that Jesus goes before us and goes with us. And so we know that we'll make it, that we maybe don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We might not know what's going to happen in a few years. We might not know what's going to happen in the next hour, but we know that we can have faith that God is with us. And that's a very comforting thing, because sometimes it can be scary not knowing what's coming up. And it can be hard to try and guess what's happening in the future when there's a lot that we're not sure about. But we are sure that God is with us. And that's a special and a wonderful and a hopeful thing that we can have in our hearts. And because we know that, we don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to know what's coming down in the next few days or the next few months or the next few years. We don't have to know, because we know that we can live one day at a time. We can live one moment at a time. And we can always rest assured that God will go with us in each of those moments. So that is a joyful thing that we know. So let's say a prayer, and we can thank God for that and ask him to help us to have courage when sometimes it's a little scary and when we're not sure what's coming up. Dear God, thank you that you hold the future. We may not know what's coming up, but you have it in your hands, and you are always with us. Thank you for being with us, Lord. Thank you for your love. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. Have fun, live one day at a time, and go make disciples. See you next time.